This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Let's go back to Nolan now at the Bloomsburg Fair, live with a lot of people there, Nolan.
A lot of people, Karen. After breaking attendance records on Sunday and Monday, it looked like it was going to be a record breaker on Wednesday today because a lot of people showed up for the Bloomsburg Fair. Right now, as you can see, it's wall-to-wall people. And earlier today, it was wall-to-wall cars trying to get here and get a parking place as early as possible. It took some people up to an hour and a half from the Buckhorn exit of Interstate 80. This is what it looked like from Skycam before noon today. Fair officials tell me there were close to 50,000 people in the fairgrounds by 2 this afternoon. And then this is what it looked like just less than 2 hours ago. No backup. Once again, Skycam 16 over the fair. The parking lots, however, were plumb full. They are right now. So are the side streets in the Bloomsburg area. Right now, fair officials tell me they estimate 60,000 people are in the park. But officials don't expect a record because if you remember, last year at this time on a Wednesday, 90,000 people jammed this park only because Tom had warned us that Hurricane Gloria might send its winds on Thursday and, of course, some of its rains. So all the people came on Wednesday with 90,000 of them showing up in the gates. They expect a lot more people as this week progresses, of course. And one of the big attractions here at the Bloomsburg Fair has always been food. Well, that's the case right now. One of the most popular foods, says Valerie Devine, is chicken. However, the people that raise those chicken aren't doing so well financially. That's what Valerie found out today. She's live now in the poultry barn. Valerie?
Well, Nolan, chicken farmers these days are barely making enough money to keep their flocks alive, even though the number of people eating chicken these days is going up. Walk around the Bloomsburg Fair and you're bound to find them. Chicken stands barbecuing hundreds of pounds of poultry. Here at the Chesapeake Foods barbecue stand, workers cook 300 to 400 chickens a day. People who are nutrition conscious and have health problems say it's one of the best foods to eat.
Because of the health reasons and because it tastes good and because it's inexpensive.
While the cost of chicken is still inexpensive compared to some other meats, poultry farmers still aren't reaping the benefits of some price increases. Prices have gone up in the past 6 months on chicken, but not on eggs, and farmers are still hurting financially.
As you know, land's up, buildings up, taxes up, feed's up. And the price of the poultry, the dressed poultry and eggs is down. It doesn't keep pace with the other factors that cost you to raise them.
Now, Paul Slessor tells me he doesn't expect all of the poultry problems to continue. He says if more and more people keep eating more and more chicken, he expects things to start to turn around within the next 3 to 4 years. Valerie Devine, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam at the Bloomsburg Fair. Karen?
They're making a lot of noise behind you, Valerie. Thank you. 75 new jobs are coming to Luzerne County. That's because Nabisco announced today it will build a new data processing center here in Hanover Township. From Skycam 16, you can see the office building Nabisco already has at the Hanover Industrial Park. The new building will go up next door and should be finished by next summer. The mayor of Scranton is celebrating tonight. The federal government is giving the city $5.5 million to help build a new mall along this area of Lackawanna Avenue that you see from Skycam 16. The federal grant is a big step toward building the mall, but the whole project will cost $70 million. On Newswatch 16 Midday, Frank Andrews asked Mayor Wenzel where the city will get the rest of the money.
Most of it is going to be private money. The only other obligation that the city has is the obligation to build a $7.5 million parking garage behind the mall.
If all goes according to plans, the new mall should be ready to open in the fall of 1988. A Luzerne County plant is also getting a grant from the federal government. Offset Paperback Manufacturing in Dallas Township will receive $250,000 for new equipment. The plant makes more than 1 million paperback books each day, and the grant will mean 36 new jobs. Both sides in the St. Clair teacher strike will sit down tonight with a state mediator to try to work out their contract differences. Schools in the district in Schuylkill County have been closed since Friday because of the strike. The 53 teachers in the St. Clair district say they want more money. The board is looking into hiring substitutes while the strike continues, but until something is worked out, the school buses remain idle. Teachers in another school district in our area are gearing up for a strike on Friday. The 120 teachers in the Riverside District in Lackawanna County say they'll walk off the job unless a last-minute contract agreement is worked out. No talks are scheduled. The 1,600 students in the Riverside District did have school today, and classes are scheduled for tomorrow. Next, we'll go back to the Bloomsburg Fair live to meteorologist Tom Clark. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Karen. You ought to smell those French fries coming in here this hour. Boy, we have a sea of humanity here tonight. It better not rain, or they may not let me out of here this evening. Now, I want to tell you, when we come back, I'll be talking about some very warm temperatures. You're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP TV, and we're proud to serve Mill Creek and all of Schuylkill County.
It's your money, son, but if you want my advice, buy another Subaru.
Sure, Dad.
I thought we agreed you'd buy a Subaru.
But, Dad, I did.
The new Subaru XT Coupe.
Ask about Subaru RPM leasing, all the advantages of ownership with the flexibility of leasing.
Well, today's excellent weather here at the beautiful Bloomsburg Fair is probably why so many people have turned out. Most of them are right here. Don't believe me, that's not true. But the people that are here want to say one thing to Tom Joles. Okay, Tom.
You're welcome. I want to tell you, folks, no need to worry about some rain at the fair tonight, but I'll tell you, it is close by. Look behind me. A very dark sky just to the south of Bloomsburg this evening, but overhead and to the north, some breaks in the clouds, and so I think some drier air going to slowly working tonight, and we won't have any rain at the fair, but some portions of the viewing area will this evening. But for the most part, we're in good shape. Of course, this time yesterday, we had a squall line of thunderstorms moving through the area, and we told you about some wind damage down there in Berwick. Well, the National Weather Service will be making an investigation this week to determine whether or not it was a tornado. I suspect that it was probably straight-line wind damage or downburst winds from those thunderstorms that came through. Some areas reported wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Let's check the readings now from the backyard. We have, well, partly blue skies over Columbia County now, and the temperature 74. The humidity 68%. The wind southwest at 7, and the barometer at 29.82, and holding steady. 76 and 64 the range today. Some places did touch 80 this afternoon. 88 the record high. The pollen count from Mercy Hospital in Scranton, 0 today. And just a portion of that sea of humanity here today. Nobody has the umbrella handy, so I suspect that that'll help. No rain this evening. Everybody having a good time. A bit breezy here, though, with temperatures in the low to mid-70s now. This is the satellite view. The front is stalled over Pennsylvania momentarily, but I think that high up to the north will be able to push its way down into New York State, and that should help push that front farther south. And I suspect that we will see some sunshine here tomorrow without any threat of rain through the day. However, farther to the west, we have that warm front, and I think that boundary will once again move back towards Pennsylvania. And I do believe that we will see some very warm summer-like air for a portion of the weekend. Here's the sunrise time for tomorrow morning, and that will be at 6:54, and the sun setting at 6:56. Tonight, some patchy fog, a shower south of the Bloomsburg area, down maybe Schuylkill County. That area may see a brief shower this evening. Otherwise, partly cloudy, patchy fog, 59 the overnight low. 72 tomorrow, partly sunny skies. It should be a dry day. Next chance of rain will be tomorrow night. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms at that time. Chance of a shower or a thunder shower through Friday. 74 the high then. Then on Saturday, I think we'll get into the low 80s. Partly sunny, hazy, a thunderstorm from late Saturday, anytime right through Sunday as we see it now. So, Karen, time for some French fries. I'll see you later.
You're torturing me with talk about those French fries. You know how much I like them.
I know.
Thanks, Tom.
Bye-bye.
Coming up, Tim Carlson at the Bloomsburg Fair with a story on the Mets going for their 100th win. Plus a record-breaking performance by a young Major League pitcher. The Sports Watch is next.
Mom, It's Susie. You know how you always said you get what you pay for? Wrong. I found a fruit juice drink as good as yours that costs less. I know, you'll say nothing's as good as Ocean Spray. It is Ocean Spray. Liquid concentrate. Just pour and add water. Same fresh fruit taste, still no preservatives, and it costs less than your Ocean Spray, so now we drink even more. Mom, your little Susie's getting more than she's paying for.
New liquid concentrate. It's good for you, America, from Ocean Spray.
This is my new Ford V8 pickup. It has multi-port fuel injection for more horsepower than your Chevy V8.
Gee, Chevy didn't tell me that.
And you can't compare just base price. My Ford includes standard equipment, like power steering, power brakes, a radio. That costs extra on a Chevy.
Chevy didn't tell me that.
And this special value model gave me $672 worth of added features free.
Free? Wow.
Yeah, Ford's been America's best-selling pickup for 9 straight years. Did Chevy tell you that?
2.9 financing or up to $750 cash back on trucks at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Every place you look behind me, look up and down the midways, every place you look, you see people, lots of people here at the Bloomsburg Fair. There's only one place there isn't anybody right now because there's nothing going on, and that's in the grandstand. And I think Tim is near there in order to be able to get away from all these people for a little while. Tim, take it away for sports.
Yeah, but I don't like being away from people, Nolan. That's what the fair is all about. We got to meet some nice people a few minutes ago, but we'll be talking about what happened near that grandstand earlier today here at Bloomsburg in just a second. But let's talk baseball first, and let's talk about the Mets. They were out at Wrigley Field in Chicago this afternoon with a chance to tie the club record of 100 wins. Back in 1969, that record was set by the amazing Mets. Let's check out the highlights from the game this afternoon. First of all, in the second, Brian Dayette with a double to the right field corner will score Jody Davis, and it's 1-0 Cubs up. Then, look at the great catch by Howard Johnson in third for the Mets. Let's watch it again now in slow motion off the bat of Brian Dayette. He is out of there. That ball was by him. What a great catch by Hojo. Now the Cubs go up 2-0 in the fifth as Ryan Sandberg gets the RBI single to score Chico Walker. And the final score in this one, let's check it out. The Cubs beat the Mets by a score of 8-2. In the American League this afternoon, a final now. It was Oakland beating Chicago by a score of 4-2. Well, one of the reasons that the Houston Astros can wrap up the National League West title tonight is their fine pitching. And one of their fine young pitchers is Jim Deshaies. He came up with a super performance last night, pitching a 2-hit shutout over the Los Angeles Dodgers. But the win and shutout also included a new Major League record, 8 strikeouts to start the game. Deshaies tied the record of striking out the first 7 batters set by White Sox pitcher Joe Cowley earlier this year by getting Dave Anderson swinging to open the 3rd inning. And then Deshaies set a new record of 8 strikeouts to start a game as he got the next batter, Jose Gonzalez. He went down on strikes. And a record-tying performance last night at Pocono Downs. Take a look now at the 8th race. A pace, it's 1 mile. Watch the number 1 horse, Coast Watcher, driven by Norton Shoemaker. Coast Watcher will win the race, and for Shoemaker, his 100th win this season at Pocono Downs. That tied a track record set back in 1984 by Jim Clouser. Now there is a good chance for Shoemaker to break that 100-win mark since there are 25 race dates still remaining at Pocono Downs this season. And speaking of streaks and long winning streaks, one was broken here earlier today at the Bloomsburg Fair racetrack. We'll take a look at it. The Pennsylvania Sire Stakes race for 3-year-old colts. Laser Almahurst, the horse you see leading in this video, broke stride late in the race and had a 14-race win streak snap. The number 6 horse, Triple TC, went on to take the win. And that's the sports from the Bloomsburg Fair this afternoon. Of course, Jake Christopher will be back here tomorrow at noon with more racing. And now let's go back to Nolan. Nolan, I'm going to get something good to eat, buddy.
Well, okay, Tim, hang on for a few seconds. I'll join you, all right?
All right.
And Karen, don't worry. We have sticky buns for the whole crew back there at the stations tonight, okay? And when we come back here at the Bloomsburg Fair, we're going to go to Newswatch 16's man on the Pennsylvania Road who finds Pete the Clown, who's been getting around this fair for almost 20 years. Stay with us.
People across the country are discovering a very special movie, The Boy Who Could Fly.
I came out of the theater really feeling good.
I loved it. It's great.
Definitely worth the price of admission.
I thought it was excellent.
Joyous. Fantastic.
It's magical. It's a roller coaster.
It left you with a feeling that dreams can come true.
It just might be the most surprising movie you see this year. The Boy Who Could Fly. Rated PG.
Starts Friday. Check newspapers for theaters.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow across America, the Great National Furniture Sale. Here in the Great Northeast, 37 of the country's biggest furniture factories are setting up tomorrow at their Jacob Kurlanchik stores, Dallas, Duryea, and Chinchilla, 9 until 9 tomorrow. Factory trailer loads of America's newest, most wanted furniture with guaranteed factory savings of 30, 40, 50% off. And Jacob Kurlanchiks will give you free interest for 1 full year and your first payment not due until next year, 1987. Jacob Kurlanchiks, 9 until 9 tomorrow.
Finally tonight, in one of your many trips here to the Bloomsburg Fair, you may have seen Pete the Clown. Pete peeked over my shoulder here on Monday night, right here at in the Midway. And for those of you who are coming, our man on the Pennsylvania Road will also found Pete the Clown, and he turned the tables on Pete. Mike Stevens peeked in on Pete.
There's a little bit of clown in all of us. The difference with Dick Riffle is that he lets the clown in him come out to play. He'll put on a little makeup, add a few finishing touches, and before you know it, Pete the Clown is ready to hit the Midway, as he has for almost 20 years now. But no ordinary clown is Pete. From the bells on his toes to the top of his hat, there's 10 feet of Pete, and that, friends, is a lot.
How tall are you?
I'm tall as 2 horses.
How's 2 horses?
If you walk with Pete a little bit through the crowd at the fair, you find people look up at him a lot. Even reporters who wander by can't help but do the same.
I can pat a 7-foot man on the head. I've done that.
Pete carries with him a little friend he calls a long-tailed neuter. It gets lonely way up there.
Oh, you're
nice?
He's in. What is it?
Mexican neuter?
Hi, sweetie. Oh.
This man who used to be a pipe fitter, who calls the Pittsburgh area home, walks tall in any crowd. Here at the fair, it's almost impossible to miss him. But unless you talk to him for a while, you will miss what he's really all about. You will miss the fact that beneath that costume is a heart which finds its happiness in the joy of others.
If you only make one person happy, that's all you need to do. Are you happy, kid? I just feel a kiss from her.
Yeah, Pete, I think we're happy. I'm Mike Stevens, Newswatch 16 on the Pennsylvania Road at the Bloomsburg Fair.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Mike Stevens. We're all happy. Everyone's having a good time. And so, Karen, I can't think of a better way to throw it right back to you.
Okay, thanks, Nolan. And that is Newswatch 16 for tonight. Be sure to join us on the update when we'll find out what some of you think about making the rose our national flower. World News Tonight is next. For the team, including the whole crew in Bloomsburg, thanks for joining us and enjoy your evening.